Hi all, Cynthia from NB Pretty Papers here, back with another layout in my notebook, scrap notebook I think is what I've decided to call it. So I have these two gorgeous photos of our dog, and he's proudly sitting on the couch. So he was playing with our son one day, and our son had got the blanket out and pulled half the pillows off the couch and put the dog up there and don't know, was giving him lessons on something or other in life, as children and dogs do. And the light was just really nice, so I decided to snap a couple of photos of him, and I think they're just really nice photos. So I thought I would make a layout with them. So I've pulled out this paper here. Nearly everything I use is from the case of the Blah collection, or Blah's collection, from Pinkfresh Studio, all but one little die cut, which I think was a die cut from a kit that I received, the same kit, come in the same kit as what I received the case of the Blahs in. Decided that I would back my photos on some black just to make them pop off that background paper, but I want to give them a little bit of a white border just so it didn't look too dark. So I've mounted it on some white cardstock, just trimming off a thin border. Then I will mount it on the black cardstock and do the same. We'll cut off a thin border as well. I don't do the same for the other photo, I just leave that as it is. I do think about it, but decided it looks fine as it is. So just mounting that down and trimming that out, and deciding how I want this page to look. So I'm still struggling a little bit on how to lay out the pages, but this one come together not too bad. I had this strip here that I had cut up for a previous layout, and it just happened to fall on the layout when I was getting the papers out, and I thought, oh, I like that as a strip across the page, so I put that on as a strip across the page, and I think it just brings a nice element, leads the eye across the page as well. And the fact that the dog is looking to the right in that photo, which kind of leads your eye in that direction as well. Then I have this other little photo. Oh, there you go. I did back it. I backed it on this grey chevron paper, which is not from the case of the Blah's collection. That is from a Cocoa Vanilla Studio, More Than Words collection. I had to stop and think about that. And now I'm just having a look at the die cuts here and seeing what I can use. I pulled out a few die cuts from the collection, and I really love that one on the right, bottom right there, that says meet me on the couch, and that is where dog is. He's generally not allowed up on the couch, so I think he was feeling very pleased with himself that he was up on the couch. And then I have this little house. I want to try to use a couple of these houses because we are at home, and it's generally a element that I would actually struggle to use a bit. Houses is not something I generally use, so I thought, no, I want to try to use one on this layout if I can, and it ends up getting tucked in on the right hand page there to the left of the photo. You'll see I'll put that down in there in a moment. I still think about trying to put it over there, but it's covering up too much of the writing. That just doesn't look quite right. So I do move it in a moment. Just going to back this tag behind the photo. I like that little pop of green that it has there, that sort of a lemon or lime green. I'll put that just behind that photo, and then I'll put that darker green on top of it. Hence why I want to use the picture of the house on the other side, because it has those two colours in it. Flipped that over and saw that black and white stripe and thought that would look quite nice down there as an element. Decided to trim it down just so it is that black and white stripe. And once I put it down, I want to pull it up a little bit to make it a little bit shorter, but no, it just tore the page as I was tearing it up, so no, that's definitely staying down. The paper that I used in this particular notebook, because I made the notebook, is just printer paper, so it's quite thin paper, and I deliberately did that because I knew I'll be laying a lot of pattern paper on it, so I was just trying to keep the thickness of the paper down to start with. But it does mean that once I stick something down, it's stuck down, it's not coming up off that paper. So I just have to keep that in mind, which could be a good thing, makes me commit, can't move around too much, it's down, it's got to stay now. And this is where I decide to tuck that little house just over there. And I think that looks quite nice there. I end up having to trim a little bit of that star off because it does go over the bend in the page. I thought about leaving it to just bend, but yeah, decided that it will just add bulkiness to the page. And here I am desperately looking for that round circle that I had, and you think I could find it. I lifted everything up, but in the end it had fallen on the ground under the desk. So down on the hands and knees to grab that, and I'm going to stick that just there. And I don't do too much more to the layout. Now in this book I'm trying to use some more of my stamps. I've got some stamps I want to be more of a stamper. So I do get a couple of stamps out here in a moment and manage to use 3 different stamps. So yay me. I use this one here to do my journaling. I initially stamped it on white using this distressed oxide ink, which I thought the colour would go quite nice, and I did trim it out. Didn't like it in the end, so I re-stamped it using black. And then I wrote my journaling off screen and have put that down. Didn't make you watch me do all that. And that's pretty much coming to the end of the layout. So if you stuck with me this far, thank you very much. Please give me a thumbs up. Stay tuned for some close-up. Until next time, everyone have a lovely day, a lovely week, or a lovely month, and I will catch you on the next video. Talk to you then. Bye.